Welcome back to yet another YouTube video from the REFER series. REFER stands for Radiology Education for Enhancement of Radiologists by Dr. S. Pradeep from Bangalore. Today we are going to deal with antenatal Dopplers, especially when we are looking at small for gestational fetuses and FGR or fetal growth restricted fetuses. So I have now made an ensemble of Doppler waveforms which are seen here. So what I have done is I have classified fetuses into small for gestational age, fetal growth restriction stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 and stage 4 in the x-axis. And in the y-axis I have kept the Dopplers from the various locations which we do, that is the umbilical artery Doppler, the middle cerebral artery Doppler, aortic isthmus Doppler, ductus venosus Doppler, umbilical vein Doppler and uterine artery Doppler. So these are the ones which are there in the y-axis. So if you can see in the x-axis, you have all these are umbilical artery Dopplers, these are middle cerebral artery Dopplers, these are aortic isthmus Dopplers, these are ductus venosus Dopplers, these are umbilical vein Dopplers, and finally these are uterine artery Dopplers. So this is the outlay of the ensemble of Dopplers and the rationale behind arranging them in this fashion. So when we have a small fetus, when the weight is less than 10th percentile, we call the fetus as small for gestational age. When the weight is less than 3rd percentile, we call them fetal growth restricted fetuses or FGR. So less than 10 percentile SGA fetus, less than 3rd percentile FGR fetus. Now the SGA fetuses do not have any placental insufficiency and are not at risk for PIH, preeclampsia, premature delivery or IUD. But the FGR fetuses have placental disease and various stages of hypoxia and acidosis, and these fetuses are vulnerable for IUD, preeclampsia and various other problems associated with intrapartum events and postpartum events. Now the FGR fetuses are classified into stage 1 FGR, stage 2 FGR, stage 3 FGR, stage 4 FGR. So we need to understand how the Doppler findings will assign an FGR fetus into 1, 2, 3 or 4. From 1 to 4, the Doppler findings actually indicate poorer prognosis and higher chance of preeclampsia, IUD or untoward intrapartum postpartum events. So once you have understood this, now we will go into detail about each one of this. So now the first scenario we will deal with is small for gestational age fetus. So here you can see SGA weight less than 10%. The Dopplers are normal. Okay. So SGA fetus is one where there is no placental insufficiency. Now let us look at the Dopplers. This is the umbilical artery Doppler. You can see that there is a normal low resistance waveform with a PI which is adequate and not very high. Now this is the middle cerebral artery waveform. you can see that the flows are slightly higher resistance, thereby resulting in a PI which is fairly higher. So this is the normal middle cerebral artery waveform. Now this is the aortic isthmus waveform, where we have a systolic peak, and during the diastole there is a small diastolic downstroke, and then rest of the waveform is normal. So this is the normal aortic isthmus waveform. Now this is the ductus venosus waveform, where we have a S, D and A waves. So this is the S wave, this is the D wave, and this is the A wave. Now you can see that in ductus venosus, both in systole and in diastole, that the flow is continuously forward and there is no flow below the baseline, and this A wave, or what is called as the nadir of the A wave, is well above the baseline. So this is the ductus venosus waveform. Coming to the umbilical vein waveform, you can see that the flow is sort of uniform and phasic and non-pulsatile. This is the uterine artery waveform. So in the uterine artery waveform, again we have a low resistance type of flow with a good diastole well above the baseline, and there is no early diastolic notch. So now this small for gestational age fetus has normal low resistance umbilical artery waveform, high resistance middle cerebral artery waveform, aortic isthmus Doppler with no reversal but a small reversed diastolic notch like appearance, ductus venosus waveform with forward flows and a very shallow A wave, non-pulsatile umbilical vein waveform, and a low resistance uterine artery Doppler. So if these are your Doppler findings, and if the fetal weight is less than 10th percentile for the expected gestational age, then if the fetus is 40 weeks, we can ask them to intervene and initiate delivery. If the fetus is less than 40 weeks, then the suggestion would be to monitor second weekly. So this is the protocol for small for gestational age fetus. Now we come to fetal weight less than 3rd percentile, and it gets classified into fetal growth restriction. Now let us look at the Dopplers in this fetus. If the umbilical artery shows a reduction in diastolic flow where the pulsatility index is more than 95th percentile, if the middle cerebral artery shows an increase in diastolic flow where the pulsatility index is less than 5th percentile, when the aortic isthmus Doppler is normal, when the ductus venosus Doppler is normal, when the umbilical vein Doppler is normal, and when the uterine artery shows high resistance flows, reduced diastolic flow, diastolic notch with a PI of more than 95th percentile, this combination with a weight of less than 3rd percentile gets classified into stage 1 FGR. So I'll summarize. In a stage 1 FGR fetus, the umbilical artery PI will be more than 95th percentile, middle cerebral artery PI will be less than 5th percentile, the aortic isthmus, ductus venosus, umbilical vein and uterine artery, umbilical veins would be normal, uterine artery Doppler, average Doppler would be more than 95th percentile. So in this scenario, with alterations in the umbilical artery, middle cerebral artery and uterine artery, we classify it into stage 1 FGR. Once you know it is stage 1 FGR, it means that the fetus is having mild placental disease or early hypoxia. If the gestation age is 37 weeks, you can initiate delivery. If it is less than 37 weeks, the recommendation would be to monitor weekly and to do weekly Dopplers. Now, The next scenario, in a fetal growth restriction with weight less than third percentile, if the umbilical artery shows absent end diastolic flows and if the middle cerebral artery shows redistribution with PI less than fifth percentile, if the aortic isthmus shows reversed end diastolic flows, if the ductus venosus is normal, umbilical vein is normal, and if the uterine artery shows high resistance with the PI more than 99th percentile, this combination would get itself classified into stage 2 FGR. So in stage 2 FGR, the umbilical artery shows absent diastolic flows, the aorta shows reversed end diastolic flows, and the uterine artery shows PI more than 99 percentile. So in this type of Dopplers, we classify it into stage 2 FGR. If this means that there is severe placental insufficiency and severe hypoxia. If the fetus is 34 weeks or more, we can recommend caesarean section. If it is less than 34 weeks, the recommendation would be to monitor bi-weekly or to do every third day Doppler. Now the next scenario, FGR weight less than third percentile. Umbilical artery shows reversed end diastolic flows. MCA PI less than fifth percentile with redistribution. Aorta reversed end diastolic flows. Ductus venosus shows deep A wave nadir. PI more than 95th percentile. Normal umbilical vein. Uterine artery more than 99 percentile PI. This combination would classify this fetus into stage 3 FGR. So I will summarize. Stage 3 FGR, umbilical artery reversed flows, MCA less than 5 percentile PI, aorta reversed end diastolic flows, ductus venosus more than 95th percentile PI, normal umbilical vein, uterine artery more than 99 percentile. This scenario classifies the fetus into stage 3 FGR, which is early acidotic fetus. If the gestational age is more than 30 weeks, recommend a caesarean section. If it is less than 30 weeks, do daily Dopplers or 24 hours Dopplers. The last scenario is FGR weight less than third percentile. Here the umbilical artery shows reversed end diastolic flows, MCA shows PI less than fifth percentile, aorta shows reversed end diastolic flows, the ductus venosus also shows reversed end diastolic flows, umbilical vein shows pulsatile flows, uterine artery shows more than 99% PI, 99 percentile PI. This combination classifies the fetus into stage 4 FGR, which means severe acidosis. So when there is stage 4 FGR, if the fetus is more than 26 weeks, you can recommend caesarean section. If it is less than 26 weeks, ask for monitoring every 12th hourly or even every 6th hourly. So this is how the recommendations go. So now you can see these numbers 40, 37, 34, 30, 26. So these are the numbers you should remember. 40 weeks, small for gestation, recommend delivery. 37 weeks, stage 1 FGR, recommend delivery. 34 weeks, stage 2 FGR, recommend C-section. 30 weeks, stage 3 FGR, recommend C-section. 26 weeks, stage 4 FGR, recommend C-section. Again, SGA monitoring, second weekly. Stage 1 FGR monitoring, weekly. Stage 2 FGR monitoring, bi-weekly. Stage 3 FGR monitoring, daily. Stage 4 FGR monitoring, every 12 hours. So now we have understood that a small fetus can be classified into small for gestation or fetal growth restriction. A fetal growth restriction based on Dopplers can be classified into stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. And stage 1 recommendation after 37 weeks, delivery, before 37 weeks, monitor weekly by Dopplers. Stage 2 FGR recommendation after 34 weeks cesarean section, before 34 weeks monitor bi-weekly. Stage 3 FGR 30 weeks and above cesarean section, not yet 30 weeks monitor daily. Stage 4 FGR 26 weeks cesarean, not at 26 weeks, monitor every day or even every 6th hourly. So, dear doctors, I hope this ensemble of Dopplers has allowed you to understand the way in which we use various Dopplers to classify fetuses which are growth restricted into various stages, and after the classification it makes us understand how to recommend delivery or cesarean section, or how to recommend surveillance by Dopplers, and also how to tell whether to do Dopplers second weekly, weekly, bi-weekly, 24 hours once or 12 hours once. So for such educational programs and for getting certified in subspecialties, I have devised a series of educational events called the REFER. The REFER means Radiology Education for Enhancement of Radiologists. Under this, I have done two courses. One is a master class on fetal echocardiography. The second is a certificate course on fetal aneuploidy detection. Both are certificate courses, and these are online courses with a lot of theory of the courses, which have been done with elaborate narration using models, animation, and using even live discussions with fictitious patients. Each of these courses have more than 40 to 50 cases which have been worked up and their discussions. Anybody interested can register for these courses, and at the end of the course there will be a summative assessment. After clearing the summative assessment, one would be able to obtain a certificate in either fetal echo or in fetal aneuploidy. To register, please log into refer.medinet.org, that is refer.mediknit.org. Thank you very much. This is Dr. S. Pradeep, consultant radiologist and fetal radiologist from Bangalore. Hope you understood the intricacies of usage of Dopplers, classification of fetuses into various stages using the Dopplers, and advice regarding surveillance by using the Dopplers. Happy learning. Thank you. Jai Hind.